Hey guys, it's Eric from the Impact team, and I just wanted to go over some of the new features that you'll be seeing in Impact version 1.1. We've gone through an in-depth tutorial on how to use the all-new import-export feature in Impact. So I'm not going to mention much about that other than, it exists now, and now you can back up and transfer your Impact page templates, which is awesome. But I just wanted to mention some of the other changes or updates that we made, just so you know they exist and you know how to use them. So if you go into Impact and you go into your Impact Template Builder, let's go ahead and pop open Show Template Options, and we'll just kind of go in order. So first of all, if you go to Template Structure and then Sidebar, before we just had right sidebar, left sidebar, and none or no sidebar. Now you'll see that there's actually a double sidebar, and you can do double, double right, and double left. So, you can do double, which is on either side, double right, or double left. And you can see that actually the sidebar one and sidebar two, depending on where what it is. Like for example, if it's a double sidebar, sidebar is on the left, sidebar two is on the right. But like let's say you do a double left, in this case sidebar 2 is on the left and sidebar is on the right. So just keep that in mind when you're adding widgets to those widget areas that depending on the layout, the sidebar and sidebar 2 may be in different on different sides of your content area. Okay, so that's that feature. Then if we go to widths and heights and margins and padding, you'll see if we go down here, one of the things we did is we adjusted the defaults for the sidebar width because of course now we have the second sidebar and we wanted to make it so if you add that second sidebar, it doesn't make your site 1500 pixels wide or whatever. So we went ahead and reduced the initial size of the sidebars, but of course you can totally control that. And another thing we actually did was we added an option called left-right container padding. Now by default this option is actually set to 0, so it will have no effect on your templates. It doesn't change anything in its default state. But the reason we added this is because we saw a need to add just a little bit more control over the actual content and sidebar paddings. So just to give an example, let's go ahead and we'll set this to a double sidebar. And basically, let's see, if we go to backgrounds and we set the wrap background to white so we can see it more clearly. In this case, you can see we have, a little bit of padding on the opposite sides, and then there's a lot of padding between the sidebar and the content. Well, before, you just had control over the padding on either side of the content and either side of the sidebars. And then and basically that was it. And what that meant was that the actual outer sides would have half the padding as you had in between the content and the sidebar. And then of course you did have the content sidebar gap option or padding option, which would let you increase and decrease these bits. But it still didn't quite give you full control over that horizontal padding. So by giving you the left-right container padding, we're allowing you now to actually just control the total outer padding of your site. So for example, if we set this to 20, you'll see that the only thing that increases is this outer padding, letting you kind of match it up with this inner padding if you'd like. Maybe we want to drop the sidebar padding a little bit, or the content sidebar gap padding, make it match up nicely, or maybe you want to, have less padding or more padding on whichever section. But basically, that one little change or feature we added just gives you that much more precise control over horizontal padding in your impact page templates. Okay, and so another neat little feature is we actually made it so you can do a custom title link for your title, your text title, or logo image. Now, if you leave this blank, this little tooltip tells you this. If you leave this blank, it automatically links back to your home page. But if you add any URL, then it takes on that URL. Basically, what we were finding is that with Impact, you can create mini sites inside of mini sites inside of. I mean, you can just basically do anything. And so, if you wanted like a little mini site with its own custom nav bar and everything inside of another website, then you might want that header to link back to the home of the mini site instead of the home of the actual entire website. So this just gives you the ability to control that. Okay, so then if you go through the other options, the next one would be the backgrounds. This is another big feature we added. Before you actually had the built-in or the WordPress, media manager or whatever to use. We basically connected with that, so you would use that to upload your images. But we found that to be limiting, especially when we started looking at adding the import-export feature, because we wanted to be able to control images, and it was much harder to do when we were trying to use the WordPress Media Manager. So now if you click Browse, you'll actually see there's this full-blown file uploader that's built into Impact. It gives you total control over creating subfolders. You can upload files, whether they be images or PDFs or whatever you want to upload. You can you've got the little thumbnail images to kind of check them out, and it just gives you a way to organize and very easily upload and manage your files and specifically your images. And of course, now all you have to do when you want to add an image to an area is you just click Browse, you locate your image, you double click the image, and as you can see, it pops in the section, and then you can of course change the option to add the image to your page. So that's all there is to that. And then if we go to the next background, nothing's changed other than they all incorporate the image uploader or file uploader. Border options are the same, active widgets, and template custom CSS. So that is all the same. Now, the only other thing that we've added that I want to mention is we actually have a new hook location or impact hook called head tag. What this is this is actually a hook that is located inside the your head section or head tag section of your site. So in other words, it's outside the body of your website. It's in the head and allows you to add any kind of JavaScript or CSS or whatever code or content you want to put in there. You can easily add it and then hook it into the head tag hook. Now, I would say this is very similar to just basically like a header script box in a way, but it just allows you to do this in a template-wide manner. So in other words, if with Impact you already have the header and footer scripts boxes or options that are in individual pages and posts. So when you go to a page and you add an Impact template, you can also control the SEO for that page or post as well as the header and footer scripts. But that's just for that page or post. This allows you to add stuff to the head tag on a template-wide section. So anything with that particular template will have that content in the head. So anyway, that's it for the options we've added in 1.1. Other than that, we did squish a few bugs, made a few fixes, a few things that had cropped up in 1.0, and so Impact is just more reliable, it's more solid, and more feature rich, and yet it still maintains that kind of raw power and functionality that allows you to do pretty much anything with this awesome little WordPress plugin. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you really enjoy Impact 1.1, and have a great day.